Hey guys, I'm Christopher Hill, and welcome first off to my channel. I'd just like to take a minute today. Back in 2020, I decided to move my family, which was just me and my wife at the time, from snowy Minnesota to Arlington, Texas. Originally, we were kind of aiming for Dallas. We settled on Arlington, which is a little town. It's not a little town. It's a big suburb between Dallas and Fort Worth. And yeah, I'm just gonna bring on my wife. We're gonna talk about that whole process, what it's like moving to Texas from a far northern state. Go over a little bit about who we are as a family, things that might influence why or why not you might want to reach out if you're interested in moving here yourself. Got lots of interesting things I can share about that. My parents, as a matter of fact, are moving here. I've helped them some in their process, and so I've got a lot of fresh information on that as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into all of that. And yeah, if you like the content here, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment on this video. Helps me out. All right, so without further ado, come here, Sierra. So this is my wife, Sierra.
Hi.
We moved here together before we had kids. That was, feels like forever ago. Let's do that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Thinking about it, like, we first, and this isn't really scripted. We're just kind of throwing it together here, but yeah, thinking about moving here, like, what was that? Like, we put everything on a truck, and then we hitched your car at the time to that truck. We got a picture of that. I'll put that on the screen there. And yeah.
No, it was when you had like an SUV at the time, and you put your trailer on the back of the SUV,
Yep.
and I had never driven a SUV with a trailer attached.
Yep.
He's like, "You're just gonna follow me all the way across the country."
Yep.
And then he rents this like 20-foot like U-Haul, and then he hitches my car to the back of it.
Yep.
And then there was the time when you told me like, "Oh, we have plenty of gas." And then I pull off the freeway. I pull off the freeway in Kansas, and it's just like torrential downpouring, and I have your little stupid puffball Pomeranian in the car.
Okay.
And we pull off, and you're like, "Oh, just follow me to the gas station." I'm like, "There's not enough time." And so we like left our car at an abandoned casino somewhere in Kansas, and we're like driving the big Bohemia of a behemoth truck.
Yeah, it was a big budget truck
With my car attached to your little dog in it through like
Yep.
residential neighborhoods at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yep, to get gas, to get the other car going. Yeah, I should have checked the gas gauge. I assumed you knew what you're doing, so I trusted you on that. But yeah,
He's
we got
the detail person. That's why he's the realtor.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, so we went through that whole process, and we got here. Initially, we rented when we got here, and that was at the height of the pandemic. And just real quick, going over, like, even if you've never been to Minnesota, the big reason we left Minnesota is like right now it's January, and right now Minnesota is probably dark and gloomy, gray clouds for the next 3 to 4 months. And if you can't tell, just out the window behind us, the sun's out, the sky's clear. It is cold here today. I don't know what's up with that, Texas, but yeah, that's fine. But I mean, it's been really good here since we got here. For some reason, we could not get pregnant in Minnesota, but not too long after getting to Texas, our daughter was on the way after a period of fasting and praying for that. And she's been such a blessing. She's at school right now. I'm sure she'll be on a video in the future. Maybe I'll cut her in with a different take later on. I don't know. But yeah, I mean...
And then the week she was born, I was like, I'm ready for another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the experience so much. That's the other thing about Texas that I really like. There's just so many options for prenatal care and maternity care. I actually ended up having my daughter in a birth center. And I had a super amazing midwife. And then when she was 6 months old is actually when we got pregnant with our second one, and he was born at home. So it was a really great experience. I really loved my midwife, and it was really nice being here. Our family wasn't here, and so we got to have, you know, that time to like settle into being parents, and had that space, but we also had a really great community around us. So
yeah, it's been really great here in that regard, especially. And
yeah,
don't let this lady fool you. 2 natural births. It does help that she's got training as a birth doula, so she knows how to deal with pain in that area and helping others with that process. But yeah, it's she's tougher than she looks.
Yeah.
So thinking about it and thinking back to it, like, or even right now, I mean, we've been here, what, we're 3-4 years now, something like that.
4 years in April.
4 years in April. So we're coming up on year 4 here. We've had, since coming here, 2 kids, and that's been such a blessing. I may not look it. I'm actually 41. Everybody thinks I don't look it, which is great. It's awesome. But yeah, there was a time where I wasn't even sure if I was going to be a dad. So I've been very grateful for everything God's done, leading us here and having kids, being a family. It's just been a fantastic experience. Weather's really nice here. What do you like most about living in Texas, honey?
I really like the weather and the climate. It's really nice here most of the time versus in northern states where it's cold a lot. Mm-hmm. If you like to eat out, if you like stores, if you like that kind of stuff, you can find like absolutely anything within 30 minutes from your house, probably. Like one day I wanted to do like this pottery thing where me and my husband would do like a date to go like make pottery at like an art studio. And I just like put it in my phone and there was like 5 of them that popped up within like 30 minutes. So just like the most random things you could like be interested in or want.
Yep.
Everything is just like so accessible here.
Yep.
And in an abundance, which actually makes it cheaper because the businesses that are here have a lot more competition than they would in other places. And also, like, if you're interested in sending your kids to private school, there's an abundance of options. I feel like in Texas, a large majority of kids are homeschooled or go to private schools, which is a lot different than in other places. I remember like we didn't have kids back in Minnesota, but I was looking into private school in Minnesota and it was just like outrageous because there was no competition for it. But there's a lot of options here for education and opportunities like that. And you know, if you have like teenagers that are going into the job field, there's like a huge abundance of opportunities, like fast food restaurants and malls and things like that. So
that business is so big here. It's surprising how many businesses there are, and you'll notice it even like coming down, just on the highway. It's just, you start hitting those suburbs, and there's just so much competition. But that's also partly due to the fact that there's so many people, at least living in this Dallas-Fort Worth area, where it's just, there's just a lot of people to serve and work with. And
yeah, and Amazon is actually based here. Amazon's actually based here. So if you like ordering things off of Prime, a lot of times I can get it like overnight or like within a few hours, like in the same day. So Amazon Prime is probably faster here than like anywhere else in the country.
That's true too. Hadn't thought about that. All right, so thinking about like right after we got here, man, it seemed like it was just really easy to find community here.
Even during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think Texas was probably one of the more better states to live in during the pandemic. People were still generally pretty open.
Yeah.
And it was really great. We were able to get plugged into a church, and we found friends and community really fast. And it was just really great because we really needed that. As you know, we were growing as a young family, and we were able to make a lot of friends. People in Texas are generally really friendly, unless they're driving.
Unless they're driving. Yes, some people get a little bit road ragey. That's true. And you'll see that reflected on your insurance rates if you move here.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that surprised me, but that's just part of it, I guess. I remember the insurance guy telling me on the phone, it's the Wild West here.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand what he meant until we got here. It's not that bad. It's not like driving in India or something. It's just people can get very passionate if you cut them off, and sometimes there's somebody shooting down the highway at 80 or 90, and just let them do their thing and you'll be fine.
Or the weaving motorcycles that don't have to stay in any lane. They just kind of weave in and out of wherever they want to go.
I don't feel like I see very many of those, but maybe you do. I'm sorry if you have to deal with weaving motorcycles.
Oh, the biggest thing I have to deal with though is like growing up in Minnesota, people never walked on the side of the freeway.
Oh.
And here in Texas, like people just be like walking down the freeway and it's like the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You might want to cut that part. I don't know, but
yeah, maybe. We'll see. All right, so yeah, let's see. I went back downstairs. So, talking real quick regarding my past experience on what led me into wanting to be a realtor, help people both in investing and also in finding their home, looking for stuff like that. I don't know, it's just been kind of a private passion of mine for going on 5-6 years now. I started looking at it back in like 2018. I had a condo back then up in Minnesota before we moved. Managed to get that sold, and I did work with a realtor at the time with that. So I've got some experience investing. I did do one property flip, helped somewhat organize that. I was a little more detached from that project than I would have liked. I think it would have come out better if I had more of my hand in it than I did, but it is what it is. But I'm part of some local investor groups here in Dallas, and work with them on I look at opportunities for commercial investing and getting involved in those programs. So they're active investors, they pitch presentations, and I may display or talk about some of the opportunities that they have. if they're looking for additional outside investment people that might want to be jumping into that kind of thing. Can be really good opportunities there. I'm really excited to be here and work with folks. And if you're interested in reaching out, all my contact information will be down in the description. And if you enjoyed this content, want to see more, I'll be posting a bunch of property tours. I'm not super talkative on those. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of my mentor and keep it more about the property, and kind of give you like a first-person view of what it's like to walk through the house, rather than just muddy it up with me talking all the time about things that interest me. It's not about me, it's about what you want to see in the house. And I look forward to working with the community that's following that to lead and guide and shape what that process might look like down the road. So like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, if you want to see more content from me. And I'll catch you in the next one.